Hi, I'm Christina and welcome to my channel, ChriskaYoga. Today, I will be answering your questions. So these are questions that I've received in the comments of these YouTube videos, and I figured in addition to answering them on the actual comment, I would answer them here in a video because lots of people ask me the same questions over and over, so I figured I would make a general video answering the questions for all of you to see. This way, if someone else asks me the same question, I can refer them back to this video. Yeah, if you have yoga questions and you would like them answered, then definitely keep watching. Before we get started, if you aren't subscribed yet to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button down below the video and the notification bell right next to it. It is free to subscribe. I would love to have you as a part of this community. So let's get into these questions. I have the questions here on my phone, so I'm just going to be looking down and reading them. The first one I'll be addressing is from Miss A, and she writes, I'm just beginning yoga and my muscles are stiff and I have poor flexibility from inactivity and being overweight. Is it okay to put my foot on the inside instead of in between during the deep lunge? Also, in happy baby pose, my stomach gets in the way. Is it okay to just pull behind the knee? I find that I cannot keep the pose for as long as you are in the video and I have to stop and go back into the pose. So, inflexibility and body parts being in the way is totally natural, totally fine. I always say this in my videos, but everyone's body is different. So your body is going to be completely different than mine, and you should never try and match my body completely. Listen to my words over my example because my body is not going to look like your body, first and foremost. Second, in addressing the questions that she asked. So she asked if she could place her foot on the outside, I guess towards the edge of the yoga mat in lunge. And the answer is yes. That is similar to a pose called lizard pose. And it's totally safe to do that if it's not possible for you to get the leg directly in the center or underneath your shoulder, as it would be in a low lunge or that type of low lunge. For happy baby, you can absolutely hold on behind the knees instead of behind the feet. That is totally safe to do. And also, if you can't hold the pose for as long for some reason, if it becomes very uncomfortable for you, please feel free to come out of the pose. Don't worry about holding it for as long as I do. If you're able to, that's great. But if not, you'll work your way up towards it eventually. Be kind to yourself. Don't push yourself too hard to the point of where it'll be too uncomfortable for you. This is supposed to be an enjoyable experience while keeping yourself healthy. So please do what is right for you at all times. So I hope that helps. Thank you for your question. I'm going to move on to the next one. Steve writes, whenever I try doing tree pose, the sole of my foot keeps sliding down the side of my inner leg. I need some sticky pads or something. I realize it probably will come with more strength and balance in time. Just thought I'd mention it. So yes, it will absolutely come with more strength and more balance over time. In tree pose, I always suggest do not put the foot on the knee. You want to avoid placing the foot on your knee joint of the standing leg. It is very unsafe for the knee joint. So if you cannot place the foot of the raised leg in tree pose on the inner thigh, please place the foot on the shin instead. If you have the flexibility to bring it all the way up and place it on the inner thigh, the point of the pose or the aim is to energetically press the foot in towards the standing leg and press the standing leg in towards the foot. So they're both pressing in towards each other, which should prevent any sliding. If you're sliding down, that probably means that you're relying on the fact that you can just wedge your foot up there and leave it there, and you're not using any strength to hold the leg up. It's just kind of being propped up there, using, I guess, the friction or whatever of your foot on the surface of your leg. As you said, it will absolutely come with more strength. So as you gain more strength in your legs, you'll be able to actively press both legs in towards each other, the foot into the leg. So this is my raised leg in tree pose, and this is my standing leg. They're pressing in towards each other, so that should prevent any sliding of the raised leg. Practice makes perfect. If you fall out of the pose, don't worry about it. Come right back, as I always say, and just keep trying. My next question comes from Ma.Elizabeth, I think. It's tough for trying to pronounce these YouTube screen names, so please bear with me. Hi, Chris. Love your explanation. I am so skinny. Do you have any yoga to make me gain weight? Thanks so much. The answer to that is simply no. I'm sorry, no form of yoga class will help you to gain weight. I highly suggest contacting a registered dietitian. You will likely need to increase your calorie intake, but that is just an educated guess, I guess, coming from some knowledge that I have on the topic. But I'm not a registered dietitian, and please do not take my advice alone. Yoga is not a fix-all kind of thing. You do need to sometimes consult doctors, registered dietitians, and things of that nature. Yoga cannot fix that kind of issue. I really hope that you get healthy soon. If you have any questions around that, please consult a registered dietitian. Next one, and Bethany writes, this was a nice video, a little hard on my triceps and some cramping in my outer hips. Like if I was sitting on a hip, what's on the floor is crampy. Any recommendations for the hips? So as I told her in the comment below, as I replied to her, was it's likely that her abductors are tight. So doing things like IT band stretches, my Yoga for Runners class that I just did is a really great class to do for that. So any stretches of the outer hip, such as supine pigeon pose, seated, half Lord of the Fishes, Ardha Matsyendrasana, things like that will definitely help with tightness in that area. In terms of, I guess, the class being hard on your triceps, I believe you might be referring to the fact that it was a bit of a workout for the triceps, which I guess comes down to the fact that you might need to build more strength in that area in order for it to be less intense. And that comes with practice, strength building, muscle building. I have several classes on here for the arms specifically, so if you'd like to do that, I'll leave some links in the description box below that you can check out if you'd like to build more strength in that area, so it's a little bit easier on your triceps. Next question comes from Patya. Hi Christina, is that okay if I share this video to my colleague? I mean, we are going to open the video and do it together. Normally we just stretch our body in the office, but I tried your video and the result is wonderful. Thank you very much. After 10 minutes, I felt fresh and ready to continue my afternoon work. Thanks in advance. Just in general, please share my videos with all of your friends. Tell all of your friends about my videos. Share them, practice them with people you know. That would really help the channel to grow, and I would greatly appreciate it if you do like my classes. Please share them. The only thing that you would need to ask my permission for in order to share my content is if you take it upon yourself to take the content off of my channel and put it on your own and act as if the content is your own. That is a copyright infringement and it is not legal, so you need my permission in order to use my videos in that way. But there is a link. You could share the link to this video as long as you're giving me credit for it, as long as it's coming from the channel and you're viewing the videos on my channel, then that is totally okay, more than okay, and I would really appreciate that. So thank you for that and bringing that to people's attention. Next question from Angelica. She writes, this one was really hard for me, especially the pose where you sit straight up and have one leg out to the side of you and one leg bent. Then you fall forward towards the yoga block. It was almost impossible for me. First, I couldn't get my head anywhere near the block. I don't own a yoga block, so I was using books, which is a great substitute for yoga blocks if you don't own yoga blocks yet. I couldn't keep my legs straight at all. Any tips on how I should be able to do that pose? So you can absolutely bring the legs in closer to each other, so you don't have to keep the straightened leg out so far out to the side. It could just be that your external rotation is not quite as, I guess, wide in that way. So bring the leg in a little bit. You can absolutely do that as much as you need to, even if it's like more in front of you as opposed to out to the side. As long as you're keeping the foot flexed and the knees and toes are facing the ceiling, then that is a-okay. In terms of the placing your head on the yoga block, if it's too low, you will likely need to have more yoga blocks, or in your case, more books. If you'd like to use a pillow instead, the pose she's referring to is half butterfly. So if you would like to use a pillow or several pillows in order to build the floor up towards your head a little bit more, then I highly suggest doing that instead. You can modify these poses to your own body. As I always say, my body is not going to look like your body. Everyone's body is different. So if a pose doesn't work for you, fix it so that it does. Modify it so that it works best for you. As long as your body is in proper alignment, your joints are protected by flexing the feet most likely, keeping the knees in line with the ankle all of those things. As long as that is good and safe, you can modify the poses any way that you need. If you're in pain, please come out of the pose as soon as possible, especially if you're experiencing joint pain, anything sharp. Come right out of the pose as soon as you can. You can skip to the next pose or whatever you need to do. These yoga classes are for you. If they don't work for you, then you can try something else, absolutely. So yeah, I hope that helps. Also, if you would like more tips on how to use yoga props, they're a really great help to help you get into the poses more easily, to help you to facilitate the poses a little bit better. So I have 2 videos on how to use yoga props, what they're for, what you use them specifically for, which poses you can use them for, etc., etc. So I will leave those videos as well in the description box below. Next one, and Chris writes, raising my arms up and down gives me a headache or tightness in my neck. Can you recommend a good routine for my neck and shoulders? Yes, I have several neck and shoulder classes on my channel. I will leave them all listed in the description box below. Next, Nick writes, what do you recommend for the next level? I feel like I've hit a wall and I need a more challenging session. For one, I have several strong beginner / intermediate classes on this channel as well. I have a playlist with them, once again linked in the description box below if you'd like to practice those classes with me. Also, I have a video on how to advance your yoga practice. So once again, if you feel like you're at a wall, if you feel like you want to move up a level or move forward, anything like that, advance your practice, definitely check that video out. I offer some very helpful tips on what to do, next steps, next level. So yeah, linked below in the description box as well. So the last comment I'm going to read out is by someone named Honey, and she writes, I will never understand why these yogis throw in Gomukhasana on practices for beginners or sore people. I've been practicing for 3 years, but I suffer with rheumatoid arthritis, and that asana just isn't acceptable for me. I understand. I'm sorry that you're suffering with rheumatoid arthritis. I really hope that you start to feel better soon and take care of yourself. The video that you commented on was a very old video. I agree with you that Gomukhasana, which is cow face pose, can be very challenging, especially for people who do not have a wide range of external rotation in the hips, like myself actually, which when I teach now, that was a long time ago, maybe I didn't say it in the video then, but when I teach that pose now, I often say you do not have to stack the knees. If it's not possible for you, then you can just place the knees as close to the center as possible. If they're not going to be in line with each other like mine aren't, that is totally fine. The range of my external rotation in my hips is not that wide. So yeah, that's just the reality of that pose for me and likely for you as well. If you want to skip that pose, then feel free to skip it. You don't have to do every single thing that is in the yoga class. If it doesn't work for you, you can move on to the next pose. You can move on to another sequence. You can even move on to a different teacher. You don't have to complain in the comments, especially on a video that was really old, because my teaching philosophy has changed, my ways have changed. Lots of people do enjoy that particular class as well. I get a lot of positive feedback on it, so that's why it's still up on the channel. If it was such a terrible sequence, I would have taken it down, but I still do believe it has some value, which is why it's still there. But yeah, I apologize that you feel so strongly about that pose. I understand it's challenging. But yeah, just skip it. If it's not right for you, then move on and do what's best for you and your body and your health. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I answered some of your commonly asked questions. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video by giving it a thumbs up, hitting the like button down below. It would really help the channel if you just take 2 seconds and hit the like button. Helps the channel to get circulated throughout YouTube. Lets YouTube know that you like this video, and then they will share it with more people. So that is the purpose of the like button and commenting below, engagement on the video. So if you wouldn't mind commenting, letting me know if you have any more yoga questions you would like me to address in any future videos, any future class requests coming up. If you'd like to see some yoga classes, a specific yoga class that I haven't done or you'd like more of, leave them in the comments below. I always love to hear from you, so definitely leave me a comment as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. 90% of you are not subscribed. 90% of people who watch these yoga videos are not subscribed to the channel, and that makes me sad. I work so hard to bring you these videos, so if you watch my videos and you are not subscribed, just hit that subscribe button. It is free. It's really no risk to you. It is completely free. You just get a free yoga class from me in your subscription box every week. So yeah, join the community and hit the subscribe button. For even more yoga resources for me, check out my website, ChriskaYoga.com, and follow me over on Instagram at ChriskaYoga. Also, quick announcement, I'm going to be sharing exclusive content over on Facebook coming up very soon, starting this coming week. So head on over to my Facebook page. I don't typically mention that that ChriskaYoga has a Facebook page, but I know a lot of you are on there and engage with me on Facebook as well. So just to let you know, I will be sharing exclusive yoga classes on Facebook now. So if you're not over there on Facebook, on my Facebook page, the link is in the description box below and on the screen here. Definitely check out ChriskaYoga on Facebook for new yoga classes from me, along with these yoga classes. So there's a lot of yoga for me coming up. So you definitely want to be following me and doing all the things. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, I'm everywhere. Yoga with me is everywhere. So thank you so much again, and I will see you next time.